All right, I think the last couple of videos have piled quite a lot of code on. And so in this video, I want to show you something easy and then give you time to just kind of get in here and explore the code in a way that you can make slight modifications, see where everything is without any real risk of breaking anything. So let's go ahead and look at how to add some sound effects to our game. And then I'm going to show you some resources for perhaps getting artwork of your own. So let's see. First thing, if we go into the assets folder, I do have a sound effects folder, and I've got a laser and an explosion and a power up sound. So let's make the laser sound go when we shoot, and let's make an explosion happen when an enemy ship is killed. So I'm going to get out of the way again. And so this is going to be kind of like loading images, right? This is not Pygame code that I would ever memorize. Syntax is a little bit weird. This is always copy paste. I'm looking at a reference sheet right now, but I'm going to make a laser SND for sound, and I'm just trying to kind of follow that convention. And it's going to be mixer.sound with a capital S, and then you just say the path to the sound. So it's assets, sounds, laser.ogg is the file extension, and there's nothing to convert. And so when do we want the laser sound to play? It's going to happen when we shoot. So right now I had it going pew pew. Well, I'm just going to take that line of code out and say laser sound dot play. Let me know if my sound's on this computer. Let's find out if it works. I don't know if Screencastify records sounds either, so you may not hear this. All right, so let's see. All right, so now I get a laser sound, and hopefully you're hearing that. I get a laser sound every time I shoot. So to do an explosion sound, let's go up. We'll just take that. Explosion.ogg, and this will be my explosion sound, and I'll copy that. And let's think of when the explosion sound ought to play. So it is the enemy that is doing that. And that should happen when the enemy is killed. So in this case, we have two enemies, so I have to do it in two different places. And let's check this out. And okay, and everything seems to be working. So now, what else can you do? I gave you this assets folder to work with some fonts and images and sounds that you can use. But at this point, things are working well enough where it's absolutely okay if you go in and start finding your own artwork. So just to show you where I got mine, I went to, I love this site. It's kenny.nl, and I went to download assets. Oops. And he has a space shooter pack, and then there's a space shooter extension, but I got all the artwork from here, and I went and I downloaded this and got all the images. But he's got tons of other artwork on this site that might be worth exploring. Also, if you go down to the bottom of my Google Classroom, I have a game assets section. And these are other places where you can download art that you might like. If you find other sites that have good art, feel free to go ahead and add a class comment on there. If you find another interesting site that you think your classmates might like, paste a link, and if everybody likes it, I'll probably add it to the master list up here. If you're really into designing your own art, there's a website called Piskel, and this is especially cool if you're into that old school like 8-bit style art. You can actually edit, make your own art, and if you sign in with Google, you can save your work and go back and edit it later. So neat way to draw your art and export it as well. So that might be another source you like, or site you like messing with. And so what I would recommend you do is, number one, my game right now is played in this relatively tiny window. And the reason I have it in this tiny window is so that it fits on the Promethean board, which just doesn't run at a very high resolution, right? But in your game, I would say go change the resolution, change the width and the height so it plays like almost a full screen game. I would give, maybe if you have a title for the game, you can do that. And then I would go probably explore some of those art sites and see if you find artwork that you like better than mine, or maybe dig a little deeper into this space shooter one and see if you want to use some of these other crafts, and add them to the assets folder. And maybe you can, swap out some of my artwork for artwork you like better. Put some sounds in the game. Maybe you can swap out these sounds for sounds you like better. And then after that, right, so now once your screen is bigger, you can also go down here to the setup section, and I would say maybe you could add a whole bunch more enemies to your game and create an interesting formation. And I think that'll get you poking around in the code in a way that, you shouldn't break anything, but at least I know you've been copying a lot out of videos, and this will get you back to scrolling through different parts and kind of reinforcing your knowledge of where everything is in the code. All right. And so take a couple days with that, and I won't post any, I'll give you a couple days before I post another lesson, and have fun with just dealing with the artwork part of the game. All right. So that is it for this video.